Hello, you are very welcome to this Arts and Disability Connect funding scheme information session. My name is Pádraig Naughton and I am the Executive Director of Arts and Disability Ireland. ADI is the National Development and Resource Organisation for Arts and Disability in Ireland. We describe ourselves as championing the creativity of artists with disabilities and promoting inclusive experiences for audiences with disabilities. This we do in partnership with the arts sector. I am joined on this information session by my colleague Aoife O'Ceallachain, who will be talking through the workings of Arts and Disability Connect and how to apply. Irish Sign Language interpretation is being provided by Margaret Woulfe of Bridge Interpreting, and captioning is provided by Stage Text. Aoife will read the text and describe the images that are displayed during her presentation. The Arts and Disability Connect scheme is funded by the Arts Council on Carla Ulún and managed by Arts and Disability Ireland. Since its inception in 2014, the scheme has supported 115 artists with disabilities across a range of art forms. In 2022, Arts and Disability Connect will distribute €120,000 across 2 rounds to 28 artists with disabilities. So with that, I want to take this opportunity to wish you good luck if you decide to proceed with an application for Arts and Disability Connect 2022 and hand you over to my colleague Aoife, who will take you through the details of the scheme and how to apply. Aoife, over to you.
Thanks, Pádraig. Hi, my name is Aoife O'Ceallachain. I will be working on Arts and Disability Connect this year with Project Manager Leah Johnson. So let's get started. Arts and Disability Connect is funding support for artists with disabilities. The idea is for them to be ambitious, to develop their practice, and to connect with arts organisations and arts professionals in the Republic of Ireland. Today, I'm going to talk about the scheme in general. I'm going to talk about who the scheme is for, about eligibility, and I'm going to talk about the 4 different award types. I will give you examples of artists who have received funding. I will also talk a little bit about the type of support that applicants and people working with applicants can receive. This year, we have 2 options for artists to apply. Round 1 is open from the 14th of March and the deadline is the 16th of May. Then round 2 is open from the 5th of September and the deadline is the 1st of November. Those are your 2 options to apply. adiarts.ie/connect is where you can find all of the application forms, the guidelines, the easy read information, and FAQs. You can download them and save them to your device. This is what the website looks like at the moment. You simply scroll down to find the application forms and guidelines. You can download them as Microsoft Word documents shown in blue font on the screen at the moment. So who is the scheme for? It's for individual artists with disabilities, It's for artists at all stages of their careers. It's for artists who live in the Republic of Ireland. And it's for artists working in the following art forms: architecture, circus, dance, film, literature, music, opera, street arts and spectacle, theatre, traditional arts, and visual arts. Are you eligible to apply? The Arts Council and Arts and Disability Ireland take our definition of disability from the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability. This states, persons with disabilities include those who have long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments, which, in interaction with various barriers, may hinder their full and effective participation in society on an equal basis with others. You will see in the application forms, you will be asked to make a declaration. So using this definition, are you a person with a disability? To be eligible for the scheme, you need to tick the box, yes. Now to the 4 different award types. The first one I want to talk about is new work. For a new work award, artists can apply for up to €15,000. This award is for artists with a strong track record in their professional practice. The minimum amount you can apply for is €8,000. For this award, you will need to make and present ambitious new work to an audience with the support of a presenting partner. Presenting partners can include arts centres, arts festivals, arts organisations, and arts venues in the Republic of Ireland. I will give you some examples of who those presenting partners can be in a moment. There will be 2 new work awards funded in each round, and these are competitive. This funding can cover your fees, your access costs, your travel costs in the Republic of Ireland, other artist and collaborator fees, production fees, and production costs. I have an example of a new work award here. This is Ciara Chapman's work. She is a Cork-based visual artist. In partnership with Cork printmakers, Ciara created a publication, exhibition, and art trail during summer and autumn of 2021 called My Chronic Pain Diary. The image shown is called I Am All of These, 2021. A brief image description. This is an illustration of 2 bunnies that could be soft toys, one large and one small. In the background are a series of animals that look like they could be soft toys. There are lions and bulls and elephants and foxes and bees and birds. Our next example is Mairead Folan performing Meet Luke at a consideration of all bodies at the Lab Gallery. And the photo is by Amber Barrich. The photo shows Mairead performing to an audience in a brightly lit space. Mairead's new work proposal was to direct a new piece of theatre called Wake. It was a retelling of The Little Mermaid, written by Deirdre Sullivan. Mairead's presenting partner was Town Hall Theatre in Galway. Mairead is a theatre maker based in Galway, and she developed a strong relationship with Town Hall, who provided rehearsal space, a space to perform the shows, marketing support, and professional development. The next example is an image of a rehearsed reading of Ob Gob by Roderick Ford at the Peacock Abbey Theatre. The photo is by Louis Haw. This is an image of a sparse stage with 5 women. The first woman on our left is sitting in profile at a table reading a script. There are 3 women in the center and 3 stands with scripts. 2 women are standing and reading from them. The one in the middle of these three is sitting on one of the 4 blue chairs. To the right, a woman sits cross-legged on the floor with the script. Roderick's presenting partner was Project Arts Centre, and he also built in different types of support alongside that. He had support from Rough Magic Theatre Company and from dramaturg and director Sarah Baxter. Project Arts Centre were under renovations, so negotiated with the Abbey for the use of the Peacock stage. They were heavily involved in making sure that theatre makers and programmers were coming to see this rehearsed reading. This was a great opportunity for Roderick to work with a dramaturg, to work with actors while developing a script, and also to work with a set designer to get the look and feel of Obgob. So the next award is Research and Development. Artists can apply for up to €5,000. This funding is to help you think, research, reflect, and engage with your practice. It can also be used to start new relationships with presenting partners to submit a new work application in the future. Or you could begin to form strategic relationships with arts professionals and organizations to apply for different types of funding in the future. There is a maximum of 2 research and development awards funded per round. The focus of this award is on buying time for you so that you can think about your practice and research in order to create work. This funding can cover your fees, it can cover materials, your access costs, your travel costs in the Republic of Ireland, other artist and collaborator fees, if that's applicable. The unusual thing about this award is that your fees can be up to 100% of the award itself, if that's what you need at this moment. Here is an example of a research and development application that received funding. Diane Crotty is a Dublin-based theatre maker. With the support of Graffiti Theatre Company, Diane was funded to write and workshop a new script for young audiences about a 14-year-old girl, Abigail Hobbs, who was accused of witchcraft at the Salem witch trials, 1692. A short image description. A bright pink illustration of a girl in a floor-length skirt holding a toy rabbit by the ear. She wears a witch's hat and is hiding a magic wand behind her back and smirking. The word witch and a pentagram are scratched above her. The next award is mentoring. Artists who wish to engage in mentoring opportunities can apply for up to €3,000. This funding is to provide mentoring with an experienced arts professional. Arts professionals can include artists, choreographers, curators, directors, producers, and people working for arts organizations. During your mentoring process, you will meet with your mentor at least 6 times. You will talk about issues in your practice and share information and advice. Here, you can work with an arts professional to solve a problem you've identified in your practice. This funding will cover your fees, your access costs, your travel costs in the Republic of Ireland, your mentor's fees, mentor's access costs, and mentor's travel. The one restriction around this funding is that only €1,500 can be spent on the mentor's fees and access at most. This is to ensure that you as the artist are paid for your time and your access costs are covered. Here is an example of a mentoring award. On screen is a painting called The Sound of Music by Alva Barrett, 2017. This is an abstract painting in a figurative style. It shows 9 people facing someone who's playing an instrument, which could be a guitar. There is another person standing beside the person playing. They seem to be in a green outdoor space. Ailbhe is a visual artist based in Cork. She is part of the Crawford Supported Studio. She wanted to look at animation combined with her mostly 2D practice. She was working with artist Kevin Mooney, who has experience in that as part of her mentoring. A second mentoring example is The Horror Writer by Emily Gilmore Murphy, 2019. On screen is a photo of a man in a dark suit and a white shirt wearing a black cap sitting on a wooden rocking chair. He is outside. Behind him is a stone wall with gravestones shoved up against it and lots of ivy. On the grass in front of him are ripped up pages of a book and he is tearing a page. Emily Gilmore Murphy is based in Wicklow and she worked with dramaturg Pamela McQueen. As part of Emily's theatre practice, she wanted to research and explore site-specific immersive theatre. Emily worked with Pamela to draw that into her practice. The next award type is the Training Award. Artists can apply for up to €1,000 for a training award. This funding is for artists who wish to engage in professional development and other learning opportunities. You could use this funding to attend classes, workshops, short courses to learn skills in your art form. You could attend arts events so that you can learn more about your art form and make connections with people working in the arts. Also, you can use it to apply for things like residencies and other professional development opportunities. If you prefer, you can approach an arts professional who has a skill that you want to learn. Then tailor-make a training program with them. That could be centered around things that you want to learn in your practice, or also it can be centered around your access requirements as well. This funding will cover your training fees, your materials, your access costs, your travel costs in the Republic of Ireland, and that's it. The award is very straightforward. Here's an example of an artist who received a training award. Anya O'Hara is a theatre maker and a visual artist who also works in film. On screen is a photo from GAA Mad by Anya O'Hara and Vicky Curtis, which was at Bewley's Cafe Theatre as part of Dublin Fringe Festival 2019. The photo is by Simon Wojewski. This image is of two people standing on a red stage. On either side of them is a tower of cardboard boxes. Behind them is a glittery curtain with a washing line with GAA flags hung from it. One person is dressed in a Dublin GAA jersey and the other is in a Mayo GAA jersey. They both have very animated expressions on their faces. For a training award, Anya applied to attend a weekend course with graphic designer Annie Atkins. Atkins is known for her work as lead graphic designer on the film The Grand Budapest Hotel. Anya applied saying how the course was going to be useful for the film and TV side of her practice. After the course, Anya came back to us to report the course will influence her visual art and theatre practice as well. Our next example is Bleach Those Tongues. I Was Once a Liminal Daughter by Cecilia Bulo. On screen is a series of 4 images. 2 photos on the left and right show 2 bronze hares lying on their sides. There are delicate porcelain white flowers coming out from their bellies. In the center, there are 2 images. Above is an illustration of a cactus with 1 singular flower. Below is a photograph of the same plant. Cecilia had a very straightforward training application. She wanted to attend a welding fabrication course that was being delivered by Mick O'Hara at the Fire Station Artist Studios. And this linked back to her sculpture practice. This brings to an end all of the examples for the presentation. I hope they are useful for you in making an application. I just want to flag the time frame for the different rounds. The deadline for round 1, 2022, is Monday, the 16th of May. Applicants will know the result by July 2022. All of the activity in your application must take place between July 2022 and June 2023. Round 2 will open on the 5th of September and close on the 1st of November. You will know the result by the end of December 2022. If you're applying for round 2, all of the activity in your application must happen between January 2023 and December 2023. Next, I want to talk about the type of support that is on offer for you to make your application. Information sessions. You will find recordings of information sessions from previous years on Arts and Disability Ireland's YouTube and SoundCloud. On SoundCloud, you will find information sessions with Ciara Chapman talking about the New Work Award. You'll also find a recording of Emily Gilmore Murphy talking about her experience applying for a mentoring award, and a recording of Diane Crotty describing her application for research and development. We have a live Come Ask Questions session on Zoom in April after Easter. One feature of Arts and Disability Connect is how we offer one-on-one support to artists. We call this applicant support. Applicant support is for up to 1 hour of support, either on the phone, by Zoom, or by email. During this time, we can review a draft application and give feedback. You could also use the time to ask us questions and bounce ideas off of us. This year, the time is limited to 1 hour per artist to ensure we can support as many artists as possible. Information on how to book these will be available on our website. Applicant support sessions will be available from mid-April to the 12th of May for round 1. And in round 2, we are planning for the sessions to run from the beginning of October until the Thursday, the 27th of October. If you are having trouble booking applicant support, please email connect@adiarts.ie. How to apply for the scheme. Step 1, download the application form and guidelines from our website. Step 2, choose the award you want to apply for. Read the guidelines and understand them fully. 3, complete your application form. 4, gather your application files together. This will include your application form, your artistic CV, the CVs of the people you want to work with, which could include your presenting partner or your mentor or your trainer or any other people you've named in the application. Getting letters of interest from those people is very important. Your application files will include examples of your own work. We recommend that you choose examples that are relevant to your application. Step 5, once you have all of those files together, you send your application through WeTransfer, a file sharing website. In the application forms and guidelines, you will find step-by-step instructions on how to submit this. If you are not familiar with using WeTransfer, It's worth doing a little trial run with a friend or family member before the deadline so you get used to it. To wrap up, I want to leave you with a quote from New Work Award recipient Margaret Woulfe. Margaret says, "My advice for any present or future recipients of Arts and Disability Connect: think big, go out of your comfort zone, and the rewards will be in reach." That brings us to the end of our presentation. We want to give a big thank you to ISL interpreter Margaret Woulfe from Bridge Interpreting. Thank you to the team at Stage Text for providing the captions. And of course, thank you to Leah Johnson and Porrick Naughton for their work on the scheme. Thank you to the Arts Council, and particularly the Arts Participation Team, including Anne O'Connor and Mary Lynch, who work with us on the scheme. Last but not least, we want to thank the amazing Amy Lawless for her tireless work on the scheme. Amy has been working on the scheme since 2014, and she leaves a great legacy behind her. Amy is a real gem and set a high standard for supporting artists. Myself and Leah have big shoes to fill. If you have any questions about the scheme, do email us at connect@adiarts.ie. Thank you, everyone, and we can't wait to read your applications.